Hello students, how are you? I hope that you are safe and stay at home due to corona. Let us come to the point. For what purpose I have given this video mean our Tamil Nadu government postponed only one exam for our higher secondary classes, especially for 11th standard students. For 12th standard students, they have completed all the exams. For 11th standard students only, they have not yet written only one exam for arts group accountancy, for biology group chemistry. So for the arts group students, at any time our Tamil Nadu government announced the exam in May month. So for our arts group students, to remind the portion for the 11th standard students, I present this video. Now let us come to the topic. That is, in accountancy there are 14 chapters. First, second and 14th chapters are theory. We know very well. In third chapter, journal. For journal, the basic thing is golden rules of accounting. That is a personal account, real account, nominal account. If we know the golden rules of accounting only, we can easily write all the journal entries without any mistake. So golden rules is very important for journal. Not only for journal, for all chapters of accountancy, golden rules are important. The next chapter is ledger. From the journal only we can prepare the ledger accounts. What are the accounts we have entered in the debit of journal, we should credit the same account in the ledger credit side. Then what are the accounts we credit in the journal, we should the same accounts debit side, we should write the same account in the debit column of ledger accounts. So that is called posting. From the journal we have written the same accounts in the ledger, mean that is called posting. Then next chapter is trial balance. So trial balance only debit column and credit column. In the debit side, in the debit column, the assets account, all the assets and the expenses we have to enter. Then in credit side, we have to write all the liabilities and all the incomes of the business. That is should tally with these items. If there is any mistake, the sum does not tally. So in trial balance, what are the debit item, what are the credit item, we should know. Then next chapter is subsidiary books 1. In subsidiary books 1, we should prepare purchase book, purchase return book, sales book and sales return book. In purchase book, we should only take the credit items of the purchase of our business. For this purchase book, we should take only the credit items, credit purchase only we should take. Not only credit purchase of the items, that is what are the things we have purchased for the business only we had. Suppose we are doing textile business, for the reception purpose we can buy a furniture made, it should not be taken for the purchase book. What are the materials, what are the goods for the business only we have to take in the purchase book. Only credit purchase only we have to take, not the cash items. Then sales book also the same things we have to maintain. Then purchase return book, sales return book, the same thing. What are the items we have purchased from the creditors? Any item damage mean we should return that item. Write the purchase return book. Then next to sales return, the same thing. What are the items we have sold? From that item, anything return mean we have to mention in the sales return book. This is about the subsidiary 1 chapter. Then next to subsidiary 2 second chapter, we should only cash items only we have to take in this chapter. In this cash book, three books should be prepared. That is a cash book. In the cash book there are 3 types: single column, double column, triple column. In single column, receipts and payment side. In receipts all the items what we have received through cash, it should be debited, it should be entered in the debit side of the accountancy. Then what are all the items, what are all the amount we have paid to the expenses and to the creditors, it should be written in the credit side under the heading payments. That's all in the cash book. Then in cash book, already I told single column, double column, triple column. In single column only receipts and payments side. In double column, cash, discount and cash column, and triple column, cash, bank and discount. These are all the cash book. Then extra one topic, that is petty cash under the cash book chapter. That is petty cash is very easy for us. That is whatever the payments, day to day expenses, it should be written in the petty cash book. There is all we should write all the items, all the expenses and total it, and we have to deduct the total payments from the balance or the amount we have received from the chief cashier. That is about the petty cash book. Then next BRS, that is bank reconciliation statement. It is a statement difference between cash book and cash book of bank column and the bank cost book. That is what are the items we have entered, it may not be entered by the bank. Then what the items the bank entered, we may not have been entered. So the difference between the two books should be prepared by us, that is the customer. That is called the bank reconciliation statement. The next chapter is rectification of errors. According to this chapter, there is the third chapter, that is a journal. If we know very well the journal name, the same, there is a rectification of errors can be easily we can done. That is a rectification of errors. Only 4 things we have to see. That is a undercast, overcast, then wrong debit, wrong credit. Overcast means, for example, purchase book show purchase book is sold. Overcast of the amount mean we have to purchase in the purchase book. Purchase account should be debited. We know very well. But for overcast of the account mean we should reversely entry should be entered. So purchase account should be credited. For one more account, that is a suspense account should be created. So suspense account data to purchase account. That is for overcast of accounts. That is undercast of accounts mean the same actual entry should be entered. That is for example, undercast of purchase book mean there is a same entry purchase account data to suspense account. That's all. So in rectification of errors, we should know the journal entries. Then next chapter, there is a depreciation. Regarding depreciation, there are 6 methods to calculate the depreciation. But in this 11th standard, we prepare only under 2 methods, that is straight line method and written down value method. Straight line method means if we calculate the depreciation amount 1 year mean the same amount should be deducted from the asset value for the 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. How many years which is given in the sum, we have to deduct the same amount for all the years. Then in written down value method, not the same amount. For first year, if we calculate the amount, depreciation amount mean the amount should be deducted from the first year only from the asset. Then next year again after deducting the depreciation amount, we should calculate the second year depreciation. Then again deduct the second year depreciation amount. We should again calculate the depreciation amount with the remaining value of the asset. From the remaining value of the asset, we have to calculate the third year depreciation amount. This is the written down value method. So for the straight line method, there are another 2 names, that is a fixed cost method and original cost method. For the written down value method also reducing balance method and diminishing balance method. So in depreciation sums, we have to see 3 things. On which date the assets are purchased, on which date the accounts are closed, on which method the accounts are asked. So these 3 things we should first of all see in the depreciation sums. On which date the machinery is purchased, first of all we see. Then second, on which method they are asked to calculate the depreciation, the second thing we have to see. Then third method, on which date the accounts are closed in that sum. Sometimes always accounts are closed on March only. Sometimes some companies are closed their accounts in the month of December also. So we have to see the third thing, that is which date the accounts are closed. It is very important to calculate the depreciation. So this is about the depreciation chapter. The next chapter is capital and revenue expenditures. The capital expenditure means if we purchase a machinery, it is used for many years. That is capital expenditure. So capital expenditure means because of that expenditure, we can get the benefit for long period. That is called capital expenditure. Then revenue expenditure means the day-to-day expenses of the business. It is taken for the revenue expenditure. Then one more expenditure, that is a deferred revenue expenditure. For example, there are two deferred revenue expenditures examples, that is advertisement and preliminary expenses. If we spend the amount for these two expenses, if the benefit we get for the business is a long period, there is more than 5 years. So it is called deferred revenue expenditure. So this is about the next chapter. Then last chapter, that is a final accounts. It is a final accounts mean trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet. In the trading account, only we have to prepare the opening stock, purchase, sales and what are the manufacturing expenses. So in the debit side, opening stock, then purchase minus purchase return, then what are the manufacturing expenses from the factory. That is for example, factory rent, coal, fuel, like that we have to take that debit side. That is all our expenses. In the credit side, only two items. That is a sales minus sales return, first item. Second item, closing stock. With this we have to prepare, we have to tally the trading account. If the debit side is always, credit side is higher than the debit side. So we have to tally with the gross profit. The difference amount is called gross profit. We write in the gross profit. In the debit side, we write the gross loss mean, that is in the credit side. That always we get the gross profit only. So we have to tally the both side mean we get the gross profit in the debit side. Then next, profit and loss account. In the profit and loss account, all the expenses are written in the debit side. All the incomes like dividend received, commission received, rent received, all these items are entered in the credit side of the profit and loss account. Then we get net profit or net loss. Where net profit means credit side is higher than the debit side, mean we get net profit. If debit side is higher than the credit side, mean we get net loss. With this 12th chapter is over. Then in the 13th chapter, the same thing, that is a trading and profit and loss account should be prepared with balance sheet but with some adjustments. Adjustment means outstanding salary, prepaid expenses, then accrued income, or received in advance income. It should be mentioned in the adjustment. It should be taken in both places. That is, in two places these adjustments should be taken. One may be in trading account or profit and loss account. One place is balance sheet. So for example, closing stock means the closing stock should be taken in the trading account credit side and in asset side of balance sheet also. So the adjustment, what are the items given in the adjustment should be taken in two places. So balance sheet, in the balance sheet, liabilities and asset side. So in the liability side, that is a debit side, like all liabilities, what are the liabilities of the business, that is a bank loan, then creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses, these items should be taken in the liability side. Then in asset side, all assets are taken in the asset side, that is machinery, furniture, cash, that is closing stock, all should be taken. Then with these items, the sum is tallied. If the sum is not tallied, there is any mistake. So with this, sums are over in all these chapters. The last chapter is 14th chapter, one computerized accounting, only theory. There is a next thing. Here all chapters I just revise. Then hereafter, what are the sums we can get in 5 marks? First one, journal. For journal, the 5 mark sum should be there. 5 marks, in 5 marks maybe transactions given and journal may be asked. Sometimes the narration only has been given and they ask entries for that. Definitely there should be one 5 mark sum in journal chapter. Then second, trial balance. Trial balance chapter also we get one 5 mark sum definitely. Then petty cash also. In petty cash sum also we get one 5 mark sum definitely. Then in rectification of errors and capital and revenue receipt chapter we get 5 marks. Then in last chapter, that is the 13th chapter, we get balance sheet may be asked, otherwise trading and P&L account only may be asked. This is about the 5 mark sums. That is one. If friends, I think I reverse all the chapters for the 11th standard. If you have any doubt, you may ask the doubts by comments. Okay students, just to revise the 11th portion only I have given this video. I think you may spend your time with your parents due to this corona. Enjoy your holidays with your family and parents. Good luck. Thank you.